Have you ever felt that on dating apps, seemingly normal encounters might hide something terrifying beneath the surface? In today's video, I'll share with you 4 true stories, disturbing experiences of young people who came face to face with unexpected horrors lurking online. From a girl whose eyes never blink to a mysterious account leading someone straight to an abandoned house, each story is a chilling journey into the dark world of online dating, where you're not only vulnerable to deception, but genuine danger as well. Sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare yourself for stories that will send shivers down your spine. Story 1. The girl who smiled without blinking. I've never been a fan of dating apps, and after that night, I'm definitely never using one again. I'd only ever met 3 people from Tinder in real life. The first 2 were nothing special, but the third, she's the reason I'm telling this story today. I matched with a girl named Annette. She had 4 pictures. 3 were of her alone in a backyard, and the 4th was in front of a lake. There was something odd about how she didn't appear with anyone else in any of her pictures, but at the time I didn't think much of it. She was pretty attractive, at least by my standards. Our conversation moved quickly, and she immediately asked if I was free that night. I said yes. Then she asked, "Can I come over to your place?" It sounded rushed, but since I lived in my parents' basement with its own entrance, I figured it wouldn't be a problem. We arranged to meet at 8 p.m., and right at 8 o'clock she texted, "I'm outside." I went to open the basement door. Annette stepped in. She was taller than I expected, her long black hair partially covering her face. But from the very first glance, something felt off. She didn't talk much. Whenever I asked her a question, she'd just smile, a quiet, subtle smile, but without blinking. It lasted so long that I started feeling suffocated. Every time I glanced away, I could sense her eyes were still fixed on me. Unblinking. Unwavering. I tried breaking the awkwardness by turning on the TV and pretending to laugh at something random, but she didn't even glance at the screen. She just stared at me. Eventually, I made an excuse. I have to get up early for work, so I should probably go to bed. She slowly stood up, but I got the impression she didn't want to leave. I practically had to guide her all the way to the door before she finally stepped outside. Less than 5 minutes later, I received a text message. "Do you really have to sleep? I was having fun." I didn't respond. When I returned to my room, there were 3 more messages, each just question marks, followed by an irritated, "Hello." I immediately blocked her number. I thought it was over. But around 2 a.m., I woke up suddenly with chills down my spine. I reached out for my phone, but it wasn't where I'd left it. I was certain I'd placed it on the bedside table to charge. I switched on the red LED wall lights to brighten the room a bit and started looking around. Nothing. Even stranger, I heard a faint vibrating sound, coming from the laundry room right next to mine, a room I never really used. I stepped inside and saw my phone sitting on top of the washing machine. The screen lit up as I picked it up. There were texts from an unknown number. The first 2 were photos. Pictures of me, sleeping. I froze. The 3rd message, "Very funny, you blocked me." The 4th message, "Next time, remember to lock the door." I started shaking. It was true, I hadn't locked the door after she left. But how did she get back inside without me noticing? Suddenly I felt I wasn't alone in that room anymore. My instinct screamed at me, but I remained frozen. In the far corner of the room behind the large boiler, it was completely dark, and I had this sickening feeling she was standing right there, just a few steps away. I didn't dare check. Instead, I ran upstairs, woke up my parents, and called the police. The investigation revealed her real name was Silvana. She had a criminal record involving stalking. She was charged with trespassing and harassment. I received a restraining order, got a new phone and new accounts. But every night since then, I still dream of those eyes staring at me, unblinking. Story 2. House number 22. I never imagined a date arranged through Snapchat could turn into such a terrifying memory. I matched with a girl named Julia on the app Hot or Not. She was the kind of girl everyone easily fell for: blonde hair, bright smile, and an effortlessly charming style. After chatting for a few days, Julia invited me over to her place. She said she'd be alone because her parents were away. She sent me her address, a house number 22 located in the suburbs. I checked Snap Map. Her Bitmoji appeared right at that exact house. Everything matched perfectly. Nothing seemed unusual. On the way there, Julia kept texting me, checking where I was. But when I finally arrived, a rundown house with tall, overgrown grass and no cars parked in the driveway, she suddenly went silent. I messaged, "I'm here," but no one answered. I rang the doorbell, knocked, and called through Snapchat. Still no response. I started feeling uneasy. Suddenly, an elderly woman's voice came from across the street. "What are you doing over there?" I turned around, thinking maybe this was Julia's mother. But the woman frowned and said something that sent chills down my spine. "No one's lived in that house for months." I asked her to confirm the house number. It was definitely number 22, the exact address Julia had given me. The woman shook her head and told me I should leave immediately. I quickly returned to my car. Checking my phone, I saw Julia had blocked me on Snapchat. Even her Hot or Not account vanished as if it had never existed. At first I just felt scammed, but something far more chilling was yet to come. That night, I sent Julia's picture to my group of close friends, recounting everything that had happened. A friend named Darren was silent for a few seconds, then replied, "That's Lisa." I asked, confused. "Lisa who?" Darren replied again, "Lisa, the girl who went to our school. She died from a drug overdose 2 years ago." I was stunned. Another friend in the group confirmed Darren's words. I quickly compared the pictures Julia had sent me on Snapchat with Lisa's online photos. Everything matched: the same face, same smile. It really was the girl who had died. I have no idea who was behind that account, nor do I understand their intentions in luring me to that abandoned house. But one thing I'm absolutely sure of is that if I had stepped inside, I might not have come back out. Story 3. The name wasn't Maria. Back in high school, I shared my class with hundreds of students. Among them were several girls I followed on Instagram, but never really spoke to. Maria was one of them. Later in college, we matched through a dating app. She was still beautiful, just like before: sharp eyes, confident smile. What surprised me was how quickly Maria responded. We talked for hours, reminiscing about high school old friends, and everything felt incredibly natural and real. She asked if I wanted to meet. When I suggested going out for coffee, Maria said something unexpected. "How about I come to your place? I don't mind." I hesitated, but she continued, "My parents are out. It's just me and my sister." Then she asked, "Are your parents home?" I answered honestly, "No, just my sister and me." Part of me felt it was strange, but curiosity and familiarity won me over. I sent her my address. Maria replied she'd arrive in 30 minutes. I waited. 30 minutes passed, an hour. I messaged her, but there was no response. I started feeling annoyed. I opened Instagram and froze when I saw Maria had just posted a story, hanging out somewhere else entirely with her friends. I immediately texted, "Aren't you coming?" Maria read the message and replied, "What are you talking about?" I reminded her of our conversation on the app. Maria replied firmly, "I don't use that app. Send me the profile." I did. Within 10 seconds, Maria wrote back, "That's not me. Someone's pretending to be me." I felt chills run down my spine. Someone had pretended to be Maria, chatted with me, got my address, and knew exactly that I was home alone with my sister. That night, I locked every door, extremely cautious. But I still wasn't prepared for what happened next. Around midnight, a piercing scream echoed from my sister's room. I sprinted there. She opened the door, her face pale, tears streaming down her cheeks. "There's someone standing outside my window." I immediately looked outside. No one was there. But deep down, I knew this wasn't a coincidence. I tried calling my parents, but neither picked up. I brought my sister into my room, locked the door tightly. Just as we laid down, there was a knock, loud, angry pounding on my door. A deep, enraged man's voice came through. "I know you're in there. I can smell you." I froze. My sister started crying uncontrollably. With shaking hands, I called 911, whispering each word urgently into the phone. The man kept pounding, harder and harder. Then my sister screamed, "The police are coming, get out, silence." Minutes later, police arrived. I ran downstairs and opened the door for them. They searched the entire house, discovering clear signs of forced entry through my parents' bedroom window. Muddy footprints marked the windowsill. I don't know who that man was, but I'm certain of one thing: he wasn't there just to scare us. If my sister hadn't screamed, maybe neither of us would be safe now. I deleted the dating app immediately the next day. Story 4. The Ghost of Lisa. I had tried almost every dating app out there: Tinder, Bumble, Facebook dating, but never felt a real connection. Until one day a friend introduced me to a rather unusual app, Hot or Not. After swiping through several strange profiles, I matched with a girl named Julia. She was blonde, had a charming smile, and exactly my type. Even more intriguing was the fact that she messaged me first. We chatted for a while, and things flowed naturally. Soon Julia asked if we could switch to Snapchat. I was slightly skeptical, but agreed. I checked her Snap score. It was under 1,000, suspiciously low for a genuine user. I was direct. "Could you send me a selfie? It's just, I've been catfished before, hope you understand." She paused, replying for about a minute. I thought to myself, here we go, she's busted. But surprisingly, Julia sent back a selfie. It was clearly the girl from the profile, cute and genuine. Still uncertain, I tested further. "Could you send another one doing a specific hand sign just to be safe?" It took nearly 3 minutes this time, but then she sent another selfie, half her face visible, holding up a sign. I believed her. And I was foolish. Julia invited me to her house. It was in the suburbs, about a 15-minute drive from my place. She assured me nobody was home, her parents were away, no worries. I hesitated briefly, but my curiosity got the better of me. Checking her Snap map, her location matched exactly the address she'd provided. I changed clothes, sprayed on cologne, and headed out. On the way, Julia messaged, "Are you close?" I replied, "Almost there." She read the message, but didn't respond. When I arrived, the house looked run down. Number 22 clearly displayed, but no cars parked outside. The lawn was overgrown. I knocked on the door. No answer. I messaged, "I'm here." No one read it. I knocked again. Still silence. Feeling tricked, I was about to leave when a voice called from across the street. "What are you doing?" It was a middle-aged woman. I answered, "I'm meeting a friend here. House number 22. She shook her head. "Nobody lives there. That house has been abandoned for years." I froze, double-checking the address. It was definitely house 22. Had someone intentionally lured me to an abandoned house? I quickly pulled out my phone and discovered I'd been blocked. Julia had blocked me on both Snapchat and the dating app. I drove home confused and angry, but then things turned terrifying. I sent Julia's picture to my group chat. A friend named Darren quickly responded, "Wait, that's Lisa." Me, who Darren explained Lisa. She went to school with my cousin. She's dead. Died 2 years ago from a drug overdose. Another friend confirmed this. Everyone in the group agreed the girl in Julia's pictures was Lisa. Chills ran down my spine. Those selfies I received had come from someone already dead who had pretended to be her, and why lure me to that abandoned house? What might have happened if I hadn't walked away? I have no answers. Only the unsettling feeling that I came far too close to something not meant for this world. Thank you for listening to these 4 terrifying stories of online dating experiences. Social media and dating apps aren't just places to find love or friendship. Sometimes they're where you encounter the most frightening ghosts of your life. If any of these stories left an impression, or if you have your own chilling experiences you'd like to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another scary story. And remember, whether online or in real life, always be careful around people you don't truly know. I'll see you again in the next set of stories, if you dare.